Start marching in place. You can also walk around your house, your room, wherever you are. I have a studio. Probably just walk around my studio. Oh, Jennifer's here. Yay. Oh, I put a chair near the window that the cat is now on. This is new, so I have to keep an eye on her so she doesn't knock over my plants. She actually move this. Don't touch that. So we're just warming up, Jennifer. I know you just hopped on. We're just marching in place. Getting those knees up, swinging those arms. Getting our blood flowing. Okay, now we're just gonna step side to side. You can start to swing your arms just nice and gently. We wanna take care of our shoulders. They're not quite warm yet. Start working out all the creaks and soreness you might have. And then just take your heels back and kick your butt a little bit if you can. You don't have to touch your butt, but. Ooh, what's that background? Oh, that's cool. And swing them a little wider if you can. And you don't have to do it fast or aggressively, just nice and slow. Take care of those precious shoulders that we have. They are very, very delicate. Okay, now we're just gonna kick forward, nice and easy. Swing your opposite arm, opposite leg. And start moving your hands up higher towards the ceiling. So after this short bit of the warm-up, we're gonna do our warm-up circuit, which is 3 different moves, 30 seconds each. We're gonna do 3 rounds of it. So the first move is called a squat to stand, which a lot of you have done already. Second move is a reverse lunge. Third move is a bear crawl. And I'll show you modifications if you can't do the versions that I showed you at the top.
Baby, okay? Can you check on him really quick?
Oh. Pardon me? Oh, like, how come people are on? I just gotta mute. You guys keep going. I'm just gonna mute everybody. I'm not sure why people are unmuted. I just have to mute everyone because there, and then the focus won't be pulled away. You can also pin my video if for some reason I'm not the main video that you see. Okay, so we're gonna do our circuit. So the first one is a squat to stand. Just gently touch your toes, squat down as far as you can go. If you can't get down here, that's fine. Here is fine. You can also use the couch or the chair. So we're gonna do 30 seconds of that. All ready? And go. So it's basically squatting down and standing up. Toes, squat down, bum up, stand up. Touch your toes, squat down, bum up, stand up. You can also, at the bottom, if you want to do a little overhead reach, you can do that. Get your arms a little warmed up. Okay, the next one is our reverse lunge. So you're going to do 2 on the left leg and then 2 on the right, and then repeat. You can also hold on to something if you need to help your balance. Another way to help with balance too, with lunges, is if you brace your shin against something like a couch, that helps too. Just a little tip. So next is a bear crawl, which is walking around like a bear. Hands and feet. If that's too much for you this way, you can do standing just like this. It's really, we're just trying to get our core working. We want to get our arms warmed up. So you just want to go back and forth on the floor. Couple steps forward, couple steps back. Okay, back to our squat to stand. Touch your toes if you can, squat down. Like I said before, you can always just use the couch too. Lots of ways to modify. You can also just squat to the chair. We're just getting those knees and those hips warmed up. Okay, back to our reverse lunge. 2 on the left, 2 on the right. And I often face sideways so you can see my form from this angle. It's a little bit better for you for viewing. Don't forget to keep switching. Make it even. You can alternate if you want. It requires a little more balance. Okay, back to our bear crawl or the upright modification. We're gonna be full body today, working our arms and our shoulders and our back and our legs and our glutes, of course. At any time, even during the warm-up, you can take a rest. So our workout goes along the principles of rest-based training, which means you determine your rest. So push until you can't, stop, and then wait until you can, and then go again. So I don't give you actual rest periods. It's up to you to decide when you need to take a rest, and that's fine. If you take a rest, whenever you pick up again, just pick up where I am in the circuit. Got it? Okay, last round, squat to stand. Last round of our warm-up, that is. So again, you can just do a squat if you want. You can squat to your chair and do your overhead reach. If you need the support, that's fine. Lots of ways to modify. So everybody can do, oh, my pillow. Okay, reverse lunge, last 30 seconds of this, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. Okay, last round of bear crawl, 30 seconds. Or you can do the standing knees. So even during the warm-up, if you need to rest, that's fine. Bear crawl, you can also just do this. Okay, grab a little water. Take a little water break, real quick one. So our first circuit is going to be a squat, a floor press, which is a floor chest press, and a row. You can use dumbbells or fake dumbbells. You can use a band or your heavy bag. I'm probably going to use my heavy bag, so I'll show you different ways. So for the squat, you can hold your dumbbells, you can use your band, or you can hold your bag. Floor press is we're going to lay down and do a press this way. You can also use any one of the 3. And a row, we're just going to do a bent over row, which you can use any of the 3 also. So just want to reiterate, I don't determine your rest. You determine your rest. So rest any time you need for as long as you need, and just pick up where we are when you come back. Okay. 30 seconds, squat. However you're gonna squat, go. So I time the 30 seconds, but if you need to stop before and rest, that's okay. I'll let you know when we're moving on to the next one. You can also squat to a box if you need to. If you can't quite get to parallel on your own, it's always better to squat to a box. Okay, next up is our floor press. Get down on the ground. Grab your dumbbells or your weight. We're just doing a chest press. Don't worry about falling behind because we're going to repeat this a few times. But don't feel like you're behind either. That's the beauty of a design of a workout this way, is you go at your own pace within the time. Okay, back up to our row. You can use your dumbbells. I'm going to use my heavy bag, just a light 45-degree angle, and just row by pulling your weight towards you, to your chest. But you want to bend over a little bit to punish. It's not straight up, yeah. You're pulling it off the floor, basically. It's like, you think of the weight, the gravity, taking the weight down. There you go. Squeeze those lats, those back muscles. Okay, back to your squat. Whew. I got about 30 pounds in here and it feels way heavier when it's in the front. Okay, back down for our floor press. Another thing with the floor press, you all keep going. If getting down on the floor is too much for you, you can do a push-up. You can do an incline push-up, which means having your torso elevated and your hands up high on something. Or you can do them on the ground this way if you don't want to lay on your back. Up to you. Okay, back up for our row. Oh, my bag's coming undone. Cat litter's trying to escape. All right, so bent over row. You're pulling that weight from the direction of the ground towards you. Think about elbows beside your body and you're elbowing someone behind you. Say someone's trying to jump on your back and you're trying to elbow them off you. Okay, back to your squat. Last round of squat. Nice work, everybody. 8 more seconds. Okay, back to our floor press or a push-up, up to you. I like to do the floor press once in a while. Feels like it's a bit more work having to get all the way down on the ground, but that can be good. Whew. 6 more seconds. Okay, back up to our row. Think it, elbowing that person behind you. See how my elbows are tucked right against my torso. Five more seconds. Nice work, everybody. Keep going if you can. All right, grab a quick water if you haven't yet. Our next circuit is going to be a deadlift. You can use your dumbbells. It's a hip width stance, bent over like this, back straight, and it's a hip hinge movement. So it's not a squat in the knees, it's in the hips, this way. So you can do dumbbells, you can use a band. I'm going to use my heavy bag. So we will start that, and then we're going to do an overhead press, which is this. Use your heavy bag, your bands, your dumbbells, and a row extension combo. So you can't really do that with a heavy bag, but you can use your dumbbells or band. All right, so 30 seconds, deadlift, go. So this is using your heavy bag, you're pulling it off of the ground. If you're using your dumbbells, you can just put them to about your shin, just below your knee, and then come up. Just really think of squeezing those glutes at the top. And pushing your butt to the wall behind you on the way down. Okay, overhead press, you can use dumbbells, either of the three. You're just gonna do a shoulder press over your head. Make sure you're bringing it all the way down, get that full range of motion. It's really important. We're using dumbbells. Some people like it out here, but it's harder on your shoulders. If you have healthy shoulders, that's okay. If it feels a little wonky, just bring a neutral grip and face your palms towards each other. Okay, now we're gonna do our row extension. So it's just a row, tricep extension. Row, tricep extension. Row, tricep extension. I'm gonna switch about halfway because I have different weights. I have like a 8-pound jug of detergent and like a 6-pound jug of detergent. Okay, back to our deadlift. So if you got your dumbbells, you're just dragging them along your shin and your thigh. You don't want them to drift too far out because that'll put too much pressure on your back. We want to keep them nice close to our body. Think of a neutral flat back. Think of pushing your butt to the wall behind you on the way down. Okay, overhead press. You want to bring those elbows all the way down at the bottom. Get that full range of motion. The heavier your weights are, the more rest you're gonna need, which is fine, and that's actually more optimal. But we make do with what we have right now. And that's okay. Whew, feeling these little detergent jugs already. Okay, back to our row extension. Row extension. Elbows behind you, straight your arms. Elbows behind you, straighten your arms. I'm gonna switch sides. Five more seconds. Whew. Okay, back to our deadlift. Last round. Back straight. Feet are about hip width apart. Toes are facing forward. Slight bend in the knees, and you're hinging at the hip. You're like one of those little birds, those little toy things you put on a desk and you hit it over, you knock it over and it does that, but you're doing it slower. Okay, back to our overhead press. You can do dumbbells. You can use your band. You can use your heavy bag. Heavy bag's a little bit harder also because you gotta keep it away from your face. Just make sure you don't hit yourself in the face. It's a little more awkward. If it gets too heavy, you can always do what we call a push press, which is giving it a little jump. Okay, last round of row extension. Row extension. Row extension. Row extension. I'm gonna switch. Gotta even it out or else I'll have one giant arm and one tiny arm. Okay, quick water break. Whew, we are halfway there, good job. Okay, our third circuit is gonna be a squat jump, which is just plyometric squat. You don't have to jump. Just do a regular squat if you want. You can use your box. You can also jump and use your box if you want. That's gonna be the first one. Second one is gonna be a hammer curl to a shoulder press. Hammer curl is a bicep curl, but your palms are facing each other. So they're this way. So you're gonna do boop, boop. That's second one. Third one is a row fly combo. So row like before, but then rear fly, which means arms are going out to the side. Okay. We are going to start our first 30 seconds of a squat jump, or whatever modification you want. Get a little cardio. See, even though this is like not technically cardio, because we're doing it circuit style, we're still strength training and building muscle, our heart rate is still gonna be up, which is good. No need for that traditional hour-long elliptical when you work out like this. Okay, grab your weights, hammer curl, shoulder press. So palms facing each other, curl, press above your head. Nice. You can also do this without weight and just squeeze those muscles. Mind-muscle connection is a real thing. It really does help. Whew. Okay, row fly. So we're gonna do our bent over row, arms out to the side. Row, arms out. Row, arms out. I'm gonna switch. Row, arms out. Five more seconds. I just found a bead on the floor. Okay, back to our squat jump. Go. So like I said, you don't have to jump. You can just squat. You can use your box. Ooh, I'm feeling it in my quads. Rest whenever you need. Okay, grab your dumbbells, hammer curl, shoulder press combo. Curl, press. Curl, press. I'm gonna switch mine. I just loaded my dishwasher yesterday. So this green jug is lighter than it normally is because this is what holds my dishwasher liquid. Okay, back to our row, rear fly. Row, rear fly. Row, rear fly. Getting our whole back with this move, this combo. And you switch. Row, rear fly. You want to keep your eyes facing down, chin tucked, neutral neck. Okay, grab a quick water break. Wait, was that 2 or 3? 3, thank you. I thought so. It goes by so fast. The funny thing is like having to teach a class and talk the whole time and then having to count is, I'm working on it. Okay, we're gonna do our last round, which is gonna be glute focused, and it's gonna be a circuit just for glutes. So does everyone have a short band? You don't have to, but if you do, grab it. If you don't, you're just gonna use your hands. So if you don't have the band, this is the move we're gonna do. It's called abduction. We're gonna do it from the floor. Abduction means you're moving your hips away from your body. And so we want pressure on the outside. That's what the weight or where the band brings the tension. So if you don't have a band, just use your hands and push out your legs. Push your hands against your legs. So that's what you're gonna do for the first one. You're gonna do 20 of those, just sitting here. You also want your bench nearby because we're gonna do press right after that. So it's gonna be 20 of these. So it won't be timing this time. Hip thrusts, you want your back on your bench, And you want to be your feet so their shins are perpendicular to the floor, and you're just gonna do a hip thrust up. Gaze is gonna be forward. You're gonna do a wide stance first, which means bring your feet out here, and then you're gonna do a narrow stance. So just to reiterate, it's gonna be 20 abductions, 20 wide stance hip thrusts, 20 narrow stance hip thrusts, all in a row. Do we got it? I'll talk my way through it. Just think 20, 20, and 20. All right, whenever you are ready, do one set of each, and then take a little quick 30-second break, and then we'll do another set. So go, 20 abduction. So you're literally just staying on the floor, pushing that down to part. Show you from the side. And if you don't have the band, you can just use your hands. It's harder than it looks. When you're done those, you're gonna do 20 wide stance hip thrusts. Feet wide apart. You wanna think of tilting your pelvis posteriorly at the top, so squeezing your glutes at the top. I'm gonna show you from this angle out here too. 20 of these. I'll show you from here too. When you finish 20 wide stance, put your feet together, knees together, and do 20 narrow stance. You can also, if you don't have a bench, you can do it from the floor. I can't see everybody, so I'm not sure your situation. Glute bridge and hip thrust are the same thing, just hip thrust has more range of motion, which means more glute and hamstring recruitment, which is what we want. If you're doing hip thrusts, I want your eyes forward, ribs down. Don't want an arched back, I want your chin tucked. If your head gets tired, you can support it, but just keep your ribs in. Don't want them to flare too much and have an arched back. All right, take your 30-second break whenever you finish, and we're gonna do one more round of that. All right. Actually, I might have time for 2 more rounds of that. We'll see how you all feel. Okay, get your band back on. So we want to do 20, 20, and 20 again. So 20 abduction. I have to switch bands because this one is really tight. And then 20 wide stance hip thrusts or glute bridges. Whew, I'm feeling the burn. And then when you're done those wide stance, 20 narrow stance. If you need to take a little pause during this, that's fine too. Thirteen. Oh, that's my 20. Let me know when you're all done. So if you are finished that last round, grab a drink of water. And we'll just start our cool down once I see the ones I've seen before. Awesome work, everybody. Thanks for coming, Danish. I'm gonna move that, okay. Okay, so once you're back up, just step side to side. Just bringing our heart rate down. It's amazing how just doing that little bit of glute work still keeps your heart rate elevated because you're just constantly working and using so much muscle. Okay, so just take a wide stance and just gently sway, kind of side lunge. How are we feeling? Good, thumbs up. Yay. Thank you for coming, everybody. I'm excited to see new faces and returning faces. Let's just take a little hamstring stretch. Split stance with your feet. Just bend over and carry your body weight on your thigh here. Think of pushing your butt back to get that stretch in your hamstring here. And switch it up, other leg. And if you need to grab onto something for a quad stretch, I'll probably just use this. I'm gonna lift one leg behind you. Keep your shoulder down. And think of pulling that heel to your butt. You wanna keep your belly button tucked in, core tight. Well, not super tight, but we just don't want this back arch happening. We wanna keep a neutral spine, neutral lumbar. Switch legs, and you don't want to flare out to the side. You want to keep your knees together, and just pull behind you, straight behind you. Think of keeping your hips square to the wall in front of you. So we want to stretch out our glutes. So there's a couple options. If you have a chair, I like the chair, or you can lay down on the floor. You cross one leg over the other. This way, think of pushing this knee down, bending forward a little bit if you're on the floor. Same idea, cross one heel over the other thigh, loop your hands in between, and pull that leg towards you, and think about pushing this knee away from you to get that stretch in here. Make sure you switch sides. Another option for that hip stretch is the pigeon pose in yoga, when you put one leg in front of you bent this way and hips are square and you're sort of just sitting on top of your foot. I am not a yoga teacher though, so I like this one, but it takes me a while to relax into it. And that's what I like about stretching, is being able to relax. I feel like it defeats the purpose if I can't relax. Okay, I'm gonna do my other leg. If you have your own favorite stretches, you can do those. Another important stretch to do while you're down there is a hip flexor stretch. One knee down, and then bring your other foot on the ground and just lean forward. If you need to put a pillow or something under your knee, that's fine if it helps. And you just want to put your body weight a little bit forward into that front leg. Keep your hips square so you feel that stretch in front of your hip right here. You should feel it in this other hamstring also. You can also put your arm overhead. That gets all this in here. That's connected. You can also go down if you want a deeper hamstring and hip flexor. This, I feel like, is more hamstring, but it's very, very helpful. Switch legs. The most important thing is just to remember to keep your hips square forwards with this stretch. You don't want to be twisting one way or the other, unless you're doing that in yoga. You know, they do have their certain poses, but you're really just trying to get this time a hip flexor stretch, hip square, and just think of sinking down. You can also lift that back knee up. That gets it a little bit deeper. Or you can do the splits, you know, I can't, so I don't. Okay. We also want to do a calf stretch. So if you have a wall near you, just put your foot up against it, bring your toes up, straighten your leg. You don't have to lock it out, but keep it as straight as you can. And just bring yourself toward the wall. So you feel that stretch in the back of the calf. We did some plyometrics today with our squat jumps, so we always want to make sure we stretch out our calves. And switch it up. And let's do a few upper body stretches for the front of the chest and the front of the shoulders. Arms behind you, hands laced together, arms straight. Belly button tucked in, ribs. We don't want our ribs to flare and arch back. We want to keep a tight core. And just think of lifting your arms up behind you. Shoulders down. Sounds counterintuitive, I know, but it's better for your shoulders. You can also put your arms out to the side, get a bicep stretch. We worked some biceps today. If you have a wall near you, you can also put your palm against the wall and kind of tilt away. If you turn away, then it gets more stretch, kind of right in here where the insertion is. Or you can just think of pushing your heels of your hands away from you and ever so gently putting your hands behind you. That you'll feel the stretch in your bicep also. All right, give us a little shake. Stretch your shoulders this way, one arm across the body. Nice and gentle. We want to take care of these little muscles in here in our shoulder girdle. We don't want them to pull or pop or tear. Just relax that arm. Other one. Do our triceps. We worked those today too. So one hand behind. You don't have to be super flexible. As far as it can go is up to you. Just push it down with the other hand. Some people are super flexible and they can do this thing, which I don't find really does anything because it just kind of hurts my shoulder. But this, you get the tricep, but then you also get a little bit of your lats stretching here too, which is nice. Think of, you don't want your head forward, you want to keep your head up, and you can almost push your head against this arm, and that helps the stretch too. And we don't want to be out here, we want to keep ribs tucked. Just always, it's a good idea to think ribs down, belly button in, all through the day, no matter what you're doing. Where so many of us are sitting in front of our computer these days, we're hunched over, even when you're just sitting here, in your car, in your chair, on the couch, just think of feet planted on the floor. You don't want to have them all up and crossed in all these comfy positions. The best way to sit is feet planted on the ground, back against the backrest, and think belly button in. And that's what your abs do, is it supports your spine. That's your abs job. I'm gonna unmute you all. That's it. Thank you so much for joining.